Tuning into Enterprise U, where we dig deep into the mind of the entrepreneur and extract what it takes to start your own business, launch your own website, and even create your own brand. I'm your host, Jocelyn Durrell, and today I have with me Chris Darby, and he goes by the name of Patch Boy. So we're going to talk about some of his endeavors and his entrepreneurial path. So thank you for joining us, Chris.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're going to talk to Chris about some of his endeavors that he has and what he was presenting at Black Dollar Saturdays. So, Chris, can you tell us more about your business and how you got started?
Yep. So my business is I do embroideries. I do Afrocentric patches. And I came up with that idea about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. I grew up making clothing. I never went to school for it or anything. It's more so like self-taught.
Oh, wow.
So I taught myself how to sew. I taught myself how to make my own clothes. Like I made this Run DMC shirt that I have on.
Uh-oh, it's fresh.
Yeah. I even made my chest bag.
Okay.
I didn't want to pay somebody for a chest bag. That's something I can make myself. So I started off my career sewing and getting into the fashion world. But it seemed like a little tedious and time consuming. Like making shirts from scratch, because I'll buy the fabric, I'll custom print the fabric, I'll order it, I'll do all the cutting, do all the sewing myself, and it's just it was kind of tough, just one person trying to do everything. Because then I'll do the sewing, do the marketing, do the customer interactions on Etsy. So I kind of died down from that, and then I started doing embroideries, because I had a machine that's a sewing machine / embroidery machine. And with that, I started doing the embroideries, and I was like, okay, this seems pretty cool. And I posted them on my Etsy shop. And once I posted them there, people started liking them. People started purchasing the stuff that I make. At first, I was doing a broad range of patches of different designs. But it seemed like that kind of market was kind of oversaturated. So I was like, what can I dive into that's more a niche market? And as I was going through Etsy, there wasn't a lot of designs or patches that represent Black culture or the Black community for the most part. So I was like, well, let me come up with a few designs and put them out there and just see what happens. So I put my designs out there, and they just blew up. People started loving them. People started leaving comments, asking, requesting other type of designs. So I just started emphasizing on Afrocentric designs only.
Man, that's cool. So Chris has a lot of different patches. When I was at Black Dollar Saturdays, I saw that he had
I have a bunch of them.
Childish Gambino, just some things I like. He had Wanda from Martin.
Oh, Shanae. I had the Shanae patch.
Shanae patch. I'm sorry.
Had the Dragonfly Jones.
And Jamie Foxx mixed up. Jamie Foxx and Martin. It's two totally different. Yeah, it was Shanae. Just different things. Can you tell me about, you said that your Nipsey Hussle patch actually is worn by a celebrity. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I came up, I actually had a customer of mine. She's quite a frequent customer who comes and requests different things. But she asked me that I should make a Nipsey patch, like a little memorial patch. And I was like, oh yeah, I definitely should do that. I can't believe I haven't done one already for the most part. So I made a Nipsey design, and she loved it. I came up with 2 different designs at the time. And then other people started liking that design. That's actually one of my top selling designs now, is what a Nipsey Hussle patches. But anyways, one person, he makes custom jackets. So he buys patches from different shops, different Etsy shops, and other people across the globe. But he purchased my Nipsey Hussle patch, and he sewed it onto a jacket. He made a custom Nipsey Hussle jacket. Wow. So a Nipsey Hussle tribute jacket. And he ended up, the Game actually contacted him about the jacket. He said the Game thought the jacket was dope and wanted to get it from him. So he sent the Game the jacket. And next thing you know, we got some videos and some photos of the Game with a big boy at a little daytime party wearing the jacket, and it got my Nipsey Hussle patches right there on the shoulder.
Man, talk about branding. So how did you just know that niche was just going to be something that would take off, or did you know?
Well, I didn't know, actually. Okay. So I had no idea if it would take off or not. I'm glad it did. And now I'm kind of starting to see a little emergence of other Afrocentric patches. So there's other stuff out there, but not quite what I'm making for the most part.
Right. So what makes you set yourself apart from other people?
From other people? Well, what sets me apart is like my designs for the most part. Like there's no other designs like mine on Etsy or like anywhere else for the most part. I try to provide like a good customer service, try to have a good interaction with my customers, trying to keep them coming back. I have a good list of returning customers who always contact me for patches. They want to order like large amounts or they want to get custom stuff made. And yeah, just like my designs really set me apart from others.
Man, so where else can we find your patches other than Etsy? Is that the only place that you can find them now, or can you buy them directly from Instagram? What are you doing to market yourself?
Well, if anybody wants to like purchase any patches from me, I mainly sell on Etsy now. I'm looking to expand, maybe get my own website going.
Okay.
I mean, in the past, I had a website for my, my brand actually, I'm gonna take you a little trip down memory lane, but my brand used to be called Darb Clothing.
Okay.
That used to be my brand, but then it switched over to Patch Boy Darb. Because I wanted to emphasize more of what I'm doing in the moment. So I'm doing more embroidery, so I want it to be Patch Boy Darb as opposed to Darb Clothing, because that's more broad.
So will you ever find yourself like going back into clothing a little bit, or just making things, custom things for certain people, or you're just strictly to the embroidery?
I'm not necessarily strictly to the embroidery, but I haven't like really had the urge to go back to clothing. I mean, I might go back to it because it's cool to be able to. Yeah, I got a closet full of like t-shirts that are one of one. You won't find my shirts.
Yeah.
I have people all the time like, where'd you get that? I'm like, oh, they'll be like, how much did it cost? I'm like, it cost like $3,000 for this shirt. Because I made it, so I can charge how much I want to make or charge for it. I might go back into clothing eventually, because I actually have a goal. Starting in September, what I want to try to do is only wear Black-owned clothing. So either it'll be clothing that I make or clothing that another Black-owned company makes.
So what keeps you motivated as an entrepreneur? Like, what is your day-to-day process like, and how do you like motivate yourself to say like, I have to get up and do this? Because I mean, sometimes it's just hard to pull yourself, out of bed and dedicate yourself to your own time. I don't know why that's hard, but what's your routine?
Well, yeah, for some people it's hard to like get into a routine of wanting to commit and do their own thing or work in their own business. Well, but for me, doing the patches, the embroideries, this is my full-time job now. So like I have to get up and like motivate myself to like get these orders out and get these customs made, because I want people coming back to me, and I want to keep the business going. Because if the business isn't going, then I gotta buckle down and get another 9-to-5 job, which I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So So I'm gonna
say you either do it or you don't, right?
Yep. You either do it or you don't.
So can you tell us, like, were there any like literature that you read to inspire you to go into this full time, or was there just different things, or was just sheer motivation of not working for somebody else?
Well, it was the sheer motivation of not working for anybody else, but then I also had like this idea of like retiring at age 35. So I'm 30 now, but I want to retire at age 35, but not retire in the traditional sense. But I want to retire to the point where I don't have to work for anybody, where I can just work for myself, or I can get my business to the next level to where I can hire somebody or a couple people to do the business for me, and I just sit back to the side. And I got that idea from reading Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a classic right there.
Yes, it is.
Because I was looking into the real estate investors game for a little bit. I even dabbled in it for a little while, but it didn't seem like that was like really what I wanted to do, because there's like nothing really artsy about that. I'm an artsy type of person. Yeah. So I want to be doing something creative. And so like doing the embroideries, I'm still creative. I still can do like the design work. I forgot to mention, but I went to school for graphic design. I got my Bachelor of Arts degree with emphasis in graphic design and fiber art for the clothing side. So I still get to do like my artistic side of the job, but then I get to switch over and do the business side.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So like, what can you say to the next entrepreneur, like to just inspire them to get going on whatever their passion is or whatever their dream is? What word of advice would you give them?
Well, I'll tell them to like, if they haven't started yet, then just get out there and start. Like, it's never too late to start. You don't want to wait too long though. Just get out there. If you want to chase your dream, chase your dream. Dedicate the time to it. Like when I first started with the embroideries, I was working, I had a 9-to-5 job, so I had to like really schedule my time and block out times just for the business. So you really got to dedicate time to your craft. to build your business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us.
Hey,
We
thank
have
you.
more coming up. We are going to talk to Chris Darby about his Patch Boy. What do you want me to call you?
You just call me Patch Boy if that's easier. Call me Patch Boy.
We can talk to the Patch Boy himself about his game and some of the new innovations that he has coming up. All right. Thank you. Support for Enterprise U comes from Stunttime HD, re-engineering your vision. Go to stuntimehd.com for more information.
All right, y'all. So this is my board game that I'm working on. It's called Schooled. The caption is, "We're getting the education has never been so hard." The game is based off real struggles and hardships that African Americans go through on a daily basis in regards to discrimination, violence, and police brutality. So what the game is, the objective of it is pretty simple. It's a point A to point B kind of game. The goal is to get your character from grandma's house to school. But along the way, as you roll your dice, I have a numbers dice, and I also have a dice that determines whether you pull a blessed card or a hood card. The blessed cards are cards that are good for the character. It might allow you to move a couple spaces further, or it might gain you a couple cents. The hood cards, though, are the negative impacts of the cards or of the game. So with the hood cards, you might end up getting stopped by HTPD officers, which is the Hood Trap Police Department, is what I'm calling them. So you might get stopped by the HTPD officers, or you might get bullied for your lunch money, or you might get beat up and sent to Auntie's house for urgent care. You don't want to get sent to Auntie's house. But with the game, starting off with it, each player starts off with 5 cents for their lunch money. And the goal is to get to school with as much lunch money as you can. And throughout the board, you see that there are trap houses along the routes. And there's 5 cents in each trap houses. So each player has the opportunity to get to one of those trap houses to collect more cents, as opposed to what they'll get from the blessed cards or from the hood cards. And this is an older version of the map. This is my version 2 of the board itself. The newer version is going to be slightly bigger. There's going to be a lot more trap houses, and there's going to be a lot more room for the characters to move around freely. Because that's another concept of the board game. It's not just a straight line to get to school, but you can actually move freely throughout the board. I mean, we do have some barricades. We got like some fences. We got like some little trees that you can't pass through. You can't pass through the houses, but with the trap houses, you can. Let's say if you roll like a 3, you can go into the trap house. That'll be 1. Then you come back out, 2. And then 3, and you collect those cents as you go. And how the game goes is you roll both the dice. Let me move this character back. So when you roll both the dice, so I got a 2 and a hood, if y'all can see that. So what you do first is you move your character the spaces first. So I go 1, 2, and then you pull your hood card. Or if it was a blessed card, you pull your blessed card. So you always want to move the spaces first and then pull the card. So I got the hood card right here. I got Bruh Man. Oh, we all know who Bruh Man is, and if you don't know, you better ask somebody. So with this particular card, it says, Bruh Man needs 2 cents to buy some bread for his sandwiches. Help a brother out and give him some money. Oh, so we got to give Bruh Man 2 cents. I don't know what to tell you. He needs his sandwiches. And then we got some other cards in there, some other cards that are like reference from from black cinema, from TV shows, from cartoons, different things like that. And also some of the characters in the cards you'll be able to recognize from some movies and like some cartoons as well.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
So it definitely encompasses black culture for the most part.
Okay, so what just inspired you to create this game?
Well, actually, what inspired me is the thought of this game actually came to me in a dream that I was having. So I had a dream that I was playing a board game, but it was like a board game like none other. It was like based in the hood, so it was like hood scenarios for the most part, and it almost like seemed like a Monopoly feel. And so then I woke up, I was like, man, that would be like a pretty cool game to have. And then I started looking it up, and there wasn't like really any games out there. I mean, we got another brother who's doing a board game, but it's more like for financial literacy.
Yes.
Now I look forward to playing that game as well.
Me too.
But as far as like my concept, there's not a board game out there like this, or there's not a game that emphasizes living in poverty or living in the hood for the most part.
Yeah.
There's not like a game that we can relate to.
This past Saturday, and it was like None other. You thought it was just something that you would just be able to just go through, and no, there were so many hardships.
The struggles were real.
The struggle is definitely real. Like, there were so many hardships just to get to grandma's house. You had people hitting you up just for money, like, bruh, man. Or you just had... you got
jacked by OG Loc. Took your lunch money.
You had to go to jail. You were harassed by the police. And I don't know. I've been harassed several times. So this is something that can really educate, and it can really be fun at the same time. You can fight, you can run, you get different
we definitely had a ball.
So it was really, and it doesn't sound like, it's really educational and just about life experience and what people have to go through. I don't think any of us made it to school.
Nope, none of us made it to school. We all dropped out and got our GEDs.
We got our GEDs. We became entrepreneurs. No, but this game is the dynamic, so I can't wait to see when it goes into the full phase. So when you do get it fully developed, please come back.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely working on it. I work on it daily now. I work on my embroidery business the first half of my day. Then the next half, I work on all the artwork to get the board game going. And I'm looking to have this board game ready by at least late December.
Late December, so Christmas. Oh, it might be ready.
Yeah, it might be ready for Christmas.
You can get schooled for Christmas. So if you guys want to find more, how can they find out more information about this? Don't you have an Instagram page for this?
Yep, I have an Instagram page for Schooled. You can find it Schooled the Game. That's SKOOLD the Game. You can also find it on Facebook if you want to search up Schooled. You should find it there as well. But the best place to find it will be on Instagram.
And you guys, and I just can't wait till he gets all of the pieces. I mean, if you see these characters and then just hear a sentence, can you walk us through the characters that are in the game? Well,
the characters are actually, they're based off my nieces and nephews.
Okay.
So I wanted to involve my family into the games in certain ways. The cover of these guys, and this is an old rendition of the cover. I actually have a friend of mine who's doing a new version, and I also have a version that I have as well. If you want to check that out, it's on my iPad. But yeah, the characters are based on my nieces and nephews. The characters that you play as, the characters in the cars, they're based off of like characters you see in movies and TV shows. Like OG Loc was from Don't Be a Menace to Society. We got like Big Bo, that's supposed to be like the Debo of the board game. We got like a Medea character, old Otis.
Oh yeah, you gotta help Medea. Now, if
gotta help Medea across the street.
Then you
get 2 cents, 2 or 3 cents, for being such a helpful person.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. So Schooled, you guys, it's a really, really fun game. Really educational, and just about life experiences and the experience in poverty. You guys can find out more from Mr. Patchboy Darby himself, and let them know again where we can find you and follow you at.
You can find me on Instagram at patchboydarb. You can email me at patchboydarb@gmail.com. If you want to check out the patches on Etsy, you can go to etsy.com/shop/patchboydarb. If you want to find the board game, go on to Instagram and search up Schooled, SKOOLD, the game. So Schooled, once again, that's Schooled the Game. That's where you can. That's my main platforms that I'm on. And also, if any of you guys want to come out at Brother Jeff's on 28th and Welton, I'm gonna be bringing the board game again to do another test play. If anybody wants to come and test play it,
man, you can come out and play. All right, thank you guys so much for another episode of Enterprise U. I'm Jocelyn Durrell, and that's all we have for you today. Have a great one. Are you a small business owner or entrepreneur who would like to be a guest on our show? Go to enterpriseutv.com and click on the Contact Us tab. There, we can schedule your next interview.